Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us, coming to you from Washington's premier indoor shooting facility. Of course, that's Security Gun Club right here in Woodinville, Washington. Hey, you know, when we go back and we take a look at crime statistics and we take a look at where our gun violence problem comes from, shockingly, the types of firearms that are most subject to statewide bans, namely semi-automatic rifles and other firearms that they deem to be assault weapons, are actually not the ones that are most commonly used in violent crime. No, rather it is the handgun. But you see, of course, there's that pesky little case out there called Heller that says, well, you can't really ban handguns, can you? Well, the state of Maryland may have come up with a different way to do it, because they have proposed a piece of legislation which, if enacted into law, I'm going to tell you, will literally ban the sale of every single semi-automatic handgun in the state. We'll explain to you how they plan on doing that. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about, here comes the first state to try to ban handguns. Okay, America and Maryland, here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about House Bill 1287, a horrific piece of legislation, which, if enacted into law, will basically ban the sale of almost all semi-automatic handguns in the state of Maryland. Now, the state of Maryland's not going to come out and say they're doing this, but I'm going to show you exactly how they will do this. What this law does is it takes large swaths of semi-automatic handguns and renames them as convertible pistols. And then, of course, if it is a convertible pistol, its sale and your receipt of it will be banned. Now, the state of Maryland wants to claim that any type of firearm in which you can add some kind of an auto-sear device, Glock switches and things like that, will then render that firearm a convertible pistol, and therefore it will be banned. Now, they may think they're only going after Glock handguns or maybe a few other makes and models. But having had an opportunity to take this legislation right downstairs and talk to all the armorers here at Security Gun Club, we are all in the agreement that no, actually just about any semi-automatic handgun, especially those in the striker fire category, would be actually banned by this legislation. Okay, now Maryland, really simple bill, because there's only a couple of parts we need to focus on. The first one is a new definition in Criminal Code 4-301, where many of your other firearm definitions is. If this bill becomes law, a new section would be added which would read, convertible pistol means any semi-automatic pistol that can be converted into a machine gun solely by the attachment of a switch or auto sear. All right. But here's the problem. Why Glock switches may in fact be the most well-known and perhaps maybe the most easiest to install, any semi-automatic firearm, any semi-automatic handgun, especially those in the striker fire category, a switch or an auto sear could be developed for any one of them, and they could be converted into an automatic weapon. So if this bill becomes law, Maryland, understand what your legislature and your state attorney general is going to do is they're just going to list just about any type of semi-automatic handgun, especially those that accept detachable magazines, as convertible pistols. And at that point, you have to remember that if this is law, none of those would be able to be lawfully sold in the state of Maryland. But you won't even be able to take possession of it, because the other section of the bill amends Maryland Criminal Code 4-305.2, a new section which is added, which would read as follows. A person may not manufacture, sell, offer for sale, purchase, receive, or transfer a convertible pistol. Which means if you already own some of these convertible pistols, which many of you likely do, not only would you not be able to receive any further, but you would not be allowed to transfer this. So I don't know what happens upon your death, because there's no exception here in the House bill that would say that if you pass away, you can pass that on to lawful heirs. So Maryland, no matter what your politicians tell you, and they may tell you that this only affects a small portion of firearms, that's just simply not the case, okay? Any semi-automatic handgun in which an auto sear or switch could be attached will be considered a convertible pistol under Maryland law, and its sale or offer for sale will be absolutely positively prohibited. And even though these people who drafted this law believe that they think they may only have a small segment of firearms, the truth of the matter is that just about any semi-automatic firearm, especially those which accept detachable magazines, and especially those that are striker fired, are capable of being manipulated in this fashion. So for that reason, we actually have a bill being proposed in the state of Maryland right now that will actually ban the sale of almost all handguns inside the state. The bill, once again, is House Bill 1287. We're going to link it up below so that you guys can geek out on it for yourself. You don't have to take our word for it. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. But if you don't, that's okay. That information down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and you tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America, let's remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.